What's up, beautiful people? Today is my birthday. I'm 37. 37 years old. Appreciate you guys for being here with me. Couple things I want to talk about. Number one, you guys probably seen my video that I made the other day called Dear President Trump. And I spoke to the president, about ways I was feeling about this whole thing with January 6th. And the people that are now being implicated that we know about, and how I was feeling. I shared my opinion, my feelings really. And I didn't expect it to go viral. Did not. I was hoping, didn't expect it to, because it's been a long road back to where I was with doing what I do, so. And it always works like that, don't it? When you speak from your heart, it's always the thing that just boom. That's what happened, when I did it back in 2020 and started the whole platform. So after that, I'm getting a ton of messages the same way that it happened back in 2020. A ton of messages, comments, and just all types of stuff. And I want to address some of them because, some stuff it's over the top, and I want to set the record straight because there's a lot of people that I guess, I don't know, see what I did, the message that I gave, they see it as somehow that I don't know what that I don't support Trump or something. I don't know. And that's wrong. Let's just set the record straight real quick before I even get into it. It's wrong. There's a comment on the video, right? This guy said, Trump had all this time to pardon these people before he left office, but he did not. Many went to jail under the fake Biden term. He used you as pawns. That's what this person says. And to that person, I just want to respond directly and let you know something, man. I and the other men like me and other women like me ain't tripping about going to prison. That's not the problem. I'm okay with everything. I'm okay with being locked up. I'm okay with the solitary confinement. I'm okay with the not being able to see our kids. I'm all right with all of it. Simply because I see what happened. What happened is that the American people got to see firsthand just how corrupt our systems are. I don't regret going to prison. I don't regret sitting inside a DC DOC. I don't regret none of it. And if I could go back and change it, I would not. Knowing the exact same outcome, I would not change a thing. I'm okay with the fact that all of this stuff happened because it put people on notice. It showed people what goes on inside these institutions, inside the BOP. It showed just how corrupt these people are that sit inside that Capitol building. It showed just how much they'll lie. Okay. It also showed just how messed up some police officers could be. It also showed just how messed up the BOP is. We shed a light on all of that because remember, we didn't just stay in DC DOC. We got transferred all around these prisons throughout the United States of America. And we got to see corruption full on 100%. We got to see how they mistreat people who are supposed to be getting rehabilitated. Okay. And then beyond that, once we did what we did on January 6th, let me tell you something. What was it? France went up, Spain went up. It was people running to their Capitol buildings, demanding that they listen. I'm not upset at that. I'm not upset at the fact that I went to prison. I'm not upset at any of it. I'm all right with it. Okay? The only thing that I want is justice. And you say, what did he say? He said he used us as pawns. He didn't tell us to go there. That's the thing that you got to understand. I don't know you and you don't know me. And then I understand how you might feel because you have the knowledge that you have about a situation, but you don't have the knowledge that we had, people that was involved in it. Trump never told me to go to no Capitol building. I don't blame President Trump for January 6th. I don't blame President Trump for all of us going to prison. None of that, because that's stupid. We are all accountable for our own actions. We made that decision because we had enough. We had enough. We stood up for our constitutional rights the way that we thought we should. Our decision. That doesn't fall on Trump. It doesn't fall on anybody. That falls on us because we decided to do it. So it's not no, he used us. He didn't use anything. We were standing up for our rights because he was standing up for our rights. However you want to feel about it. You can't convince me that in 2020, matter of fact, from 2016 up until January 6th, you can't convince me that Trump wasn't trying his absolute best for this country. You just can't. Because at that time, I wasn't in prison. I was free and I was watching it in real time. Still stand by that Trump is the greatest president in modern history, as far as I'm concerned. Am I angry about how things are going right now? Yeah, I am. Not pertaining to Trump's administration, but to the January 6th thing of justice not coming back around to bite the people that were a part of it, that helped entrap people. Not angry at Trump because he's doing a horrible job with the country. He's doing a fantastic job with the country, as far as I'm concerned. Are there some things that maybe I got a little something to say about? For sure, 100%. But I'll never tell you that. Simply because, hey, no matter how frustrated I get, no matter how frustrated I get about January 6th, it's not going to change the fact that I'm biased and I'm a Trump supporter. All right? I'm a Trump supporter. And I know he got a lot on his plate. I made that message to appeal to Trump just so he can know, like, this is what we're feeling. Me and people like me, we're feeling like this about this situation. And I wanted him to hear it so maybe he can direct his people to put a little more focus on this. Say, hey, pay attention more over here. Get some of this stuff done over here. Not to try to, call Trump out or whatever some of these people are saying in the comments. It's not calling out I'm calling to the president. I pray for the president every single day, man. Every day I pray for the president. I pray for our country. I pray for all these people that are in public office, even the ones that I don't like, even the ones that I do not like. Most of the Democratic Party I do not like, but guess what? I'm praying for them. I'm praying that God will just do something with them, change them up. But it ain't in no way, shape, or form of me calling out Trump. Yeah, I still support Trump. Just to answer the question, yes, I still support Trump. Yes, I'm still a Trump supporter in the sense of I'm praying for him. Now, if you're talking about, I don't know, I don't even really know what that question means. Like, do you still support Trump? What, is he running for another term? Like, support him in that way? Because you can't. There's no other way to support him other than to pray for him. That's my support for Trump. I pray for our president. What support? What do you even mean when you ask me this question? Do you still support Trump? He's in office. What do you mean? Did I support him through this? 100%. As soon as I came home from prison, first thing I started doing, helping with the campaign, making videos, trying to get the word out to get him reelected. Well, why, Cash, after you've been through so much? You went to prison in January 6th in solitary confinement. Because I had a duty. I made a promise to my brothers. I made a promise to them when I was locked up with them. I said, hey, as soon as I get home, you guys got my word. I'm going to try to get my platform back and put the word out and push for these pardons. And that's what I did. And that's what I did. Do I regret my vote? No, not at all. Not at all. If here, let me put it like this. If Trump could run for a third term, I'd vote for him. I'd vote for him, hands down. He gave me my pardon. He gave them brothers their pardon. He owned up to what he said he was going to do with illegal immigration. You know what I'm saying? We seeing prices go down. Is he doing as great as he did in 2016? I ain't going to say that. 2016 was the bomb. He did his thing, and he had a whole lot of opposition. At this time around, I mean, yeah, I got some things that I got my own reservations about certain things right now. But he's still the best thing smoking for America. And that's where I'm at. But again, I'm biased. We're talking about a president that literally issued pardons for all of us that was involved that day. I can't. That's it. That's where I'm at. It's like he looked out. Some of these comments is insane to me. Like, I didn't know that people could turn that thing around. The video that I made wasn't like, it wasn't to try to shame in any kind of way. For people to be able to try to, switch this up just because they felt, you know what it is? I think they seen, a black guy that's a January 6er, because these guys aren't following me, the ones that are commenting on this. They see a black guy that's a January 6er, and in their mind, they heard negativity, I guess. I don't know. But it's not what it is. That's not what it is at all. I just wanted the president to hear me, so maybe he could put a little more focus on this, because to me, I'm vested in this. Sacrificed a lot, just like he did. President Trump's, and I'm not trying to minimize what President Trump's going through in his own, in his own right, because he's gone through a hell of a lot too. Impeachment after impeachment, lie after lie, lawsuits. They convicted him too. You know what I'm saying? I feel him. But the aggravation that I know he feels with these people, we feel it too. It's just the only difference between, and I had to check myself on this, the only difference between us and Trump is that Trump got knowledge that just we don't have yet. Trump got a plan, that he's been implementing that we just ain't privy to. Or that's what I like to believe. That's what I like to tell myself. I tell myself that, you know what? You got to give some grace, because you don't know what's going on. You don't know what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? And then I just give it to God. And I'm just like, yo, God, don't let these people escape justice. Don't let them escape justice, because it ain't right. And that's where I'm at with it. But yeah, then General Flynn even commented on my post. It's pretty wild. Let me read what General Flynn said. Respond to this. Oh, where's he at? Oh, General Flynn. Okay, right here. General Michael Flynn. He says, now, that's crazy, right? General Flynn commented on my video. That's pretty cool. He say, now that we know for certain that January 6, 2021 was orchestrated by public officials, when are the men and women that were incarcerated going to get a public apology from the highest levels of our government, to include Congress and the Oval Office? And more important, when will those who abused power, who lied, and who conspired to orchestrate the fake insurrection be held accountable? And then he tagged real Donald Trump, AG Pam Bondi, Leader John Thune, Speaker Johnson. And to General Flynn, I just want to say, look, first off, God bless you, brother. I've met General Flynn one time. I don't know General Flynn, but I got to say this. I'm about to critique General Flynn. I don't like how you worded that. I appreciate the sentiment. But I don't like how you worded that. You said, when are the men and women that were incarcerated going to get a public apology from the highest levels of our government, to include Congress and the Oval Office? First off, Trump been apologetic towards all of us. He said this is horrible what they're putting these guys through while we were incarcerated. He apologized over and over. It's not you talking about an apology, and talking about Congress. I don't want an apology from Congress. It's not about an apology. It's not about none of that for me. If anything, General Flynn, how about you apologize too? General Flynn? Because we listened to a lot of what you said before January 6th happened. A lot of us that showed up that day, a lot of us was listening to what you were saying, General Flynn. I don't recall you apologizing to any of us when you were talking about the Insurrection Act and all these other things, because Trump never told us that he was going to invoke the Insurrection Act. We didn't hear that from Trump. We heard that from you. We heard that from Bannon. We heard that from, the Sidney Powells. We heard that from y'all's group. That wasn't Trump. So for you to come on the post and make it like you ain't got no part in it, seeking an apology we need an apology from people on the right too. all the talking heads that was on the right too, that was fanning the flame. You guys made it a sense of urgency that we had to go, we had to be there. I'm not blaming you for us being incarcerated, but I'm just saying, since you calling for people to apologize, maybe you should apologize. I'm just saying, just keeping it 100 with you, bro. Because as far as I can see, President Trump is the only one that did anything for us so far. He gave us a pardon. He gave us a pardon. He gave us a second lease on life, man. He released all the brothers that was incarcerated for January 6th. Now, if we're going to talk about apologies, then I would like to see Stephen Bannon, freaking you, General Flynn, who else? Sidney Powell. There's a lot of you guys, you know, the whole little group that pushed these things, made these reports about what was going on and about China being on the border in Canada. You guys remember saying that? That China was doing drills on the border of Canada and they might be ready to invade. You guys stoked a lot of those flames, bro. You're trying to push it off on the Oval Office. It's not the Oval Office. Trump did his part. And that part makes me upset. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that people forget that led up to 2021, January 6th. A lot of the things that we was thinking, I go back and watch my old streams and I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? What was going on? Like, why was I thinking like this? Like, it was far out there compared to the man that I am today and the things that we know today. It was because of them. So General Flynn, no disrespect to you, brother, but if you're going to call on Trump or the Oval Office to apologize, bro, you need to go ahead and make yourself an apology letter real quick. Since you've seen this post, maybe you're going to see this one. Apologize. I met you at the Reawaken tour. I got a picture with you, shook your hand, and you signed the books, you know, for Jeff McKillop. Appreciate that. But since you're talking about an apology, brother, why don't you apologize? You didn't apologize to me that day. You didn't say, I'm so sorry for what you've gone through. You didn't say none of that. It was just more like a, hey, what's going on? Yeah. And you talked about AI and deep fakes. You know what I'm saying? So come on, man. Come on. We got him out the way. Let's see who else we got. Who else we got on here that was talking what we should be doing? You know, it's insane. This guy, he says, I'm sorry, but J6 is a crock of shit. If there were 200 plus informants there setting up patriots, they locked up the wrong group of people. Well, here's the thing. There was over 200 known FBI agents out there in the crowd, regardless of how you want to feel about it. This has already came out. This is common knowledge now. It's like 276. But the thing that people aren't picking up and that aren't understanding, right? See, we understand. And when I say we, I'm talking about the brothers that were in J6, the ones that was locked up in DC DOC with me. When we sat and we looked through Discovery, Ryan Nichols was one of them. This dude was like a freaking investigator. He was looking at everybody like, bro, look at this person, look at this person, look at this person. And we started to see hand signals. We started to see earpieces. Started to notice that these people are communicating with each other from across the way, and things are happening right here in this vicinity. We've been saying FBI. We've been calling it since being incarcerated. And guess what happened? We got called crazy. We got called crazy. We've been pointed out the whole Ray Epps thing. And we got called crazy. We've been screaming at the top of our lungs that some of the people that were patriots that day weren't really patriots. They came in on a mission. Who those people are, I don't know. And I'm not going to make any claims against any of the brothers that I was locked up with. I'm past it. But we've been screaming this. People are just starting to catch up. And we're not understanding that. They pinpointed people's phones, right? They knew who was there that day because of their phones. They was pinging people's phones. All right? Then what if it wasn't feds, then why is it that the people that did not have no face mask on, that were there directing traffic and telling people what to do, telling people to go inside the Capitol, telling people to take this flag, why weren't they incarcerated? Why weren't they incarcerated? How come it was just selective on who they got, who they grabbed? Because I swear to you, you had to be there to understand what I'm telling you. You had to be there on January 6th to understand. Once you look back, see, in the moment, didn't realize it. In the moment, because there's so much going on, you hear boom, boom. You got flashbangs going off over here, concussion, whatever they were. The loud booms, projectile hit me in my leg. Then you see spray misting off into the air and people washing their eyes out. And then there's smoke. And then there's all of these things going on. A guy shot through the mouth. You got all this stuff, all this chaos going on. So you're not really paying attention to the people around you. These people, when I look back, a lot of the people around me were simply just like recording. They weren't doing anything except recording. They looked suspect. There was people that was dressed in certain gear, acting a certain type of way, directing people. Hey, we're going over this way, guys. When I came out of the Capitol and told people not to go in, I remember the guy yelling, "No, don't listen to him. We got to go in. You get in there, Patriots." Why were you so adamant when I'm just came from up out of here and I'm telling you what's going on in there? I'm telling you, hey, I wouldn't go in there. You guys, is getting bad. People are starting to break stuff. SWAT just came in and they're behind that door and they're ready for action. Don't go in. How come that person decided to start rallying? No, don't listen to him. We got to go in. And where was he? I remember his face. I ain't seen him locked up. I ain't see him locked up. I didn't see the person locked up that gave me the flag when I was climbing up the railing. I didn't see him locked up, and he was giving everybody stuff and telling them to get in there. Get in there. This is what he said. Get in there, soldier. Get in there, soldier. He wasn't locked up. It's a lot of strange things. So knowing all that now and thinking about the way that I've been feeling, I have to understand I don't have to understand, but I have to believe that the president knows all of this stuff too. I have to believe that President Trump probably, in a Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, they probably are working on something. And then I think about the whole, what Kash Patel said when he was sitting in front of them people, talking to them. I was watching them on, C-SPAN. And they were asking him about the whole Epstein thing. And I remember what he said. Everybody else heard it. Like everybody was mad. Remember, it's like, we want to see the Epstein files. We want to see, why won't you release the Epstein files? And it's just big old thing. Why won't they release them? But I remember what he said. Kash Patel said, I have given everything that I have gotten. People didn't want to hear that. They didn't understand what he was saying. No, you're lying. They're thinking he's lying. What he's saying is, and he repeated it, no, I have given you everything that I have gotten. So then my mind, knowing everything from how I've been through with January 6th and all this, my mind goes to, okay, he's saying, without saying, They didn't give me everything that you guys are talking about. Whatever you think you know exists, they didn't give that to me. I've given you everything that I've gotten. These people are still withholding things from us. This past administration has hidden things. I don't have what it is that you're saying I'm supposed to have, because I've given you everything that I have. See what I'm saying? So then I got to believe when it comes to January 6th, it's the same thing. We know that there was more than 276 people out there that was from them people. We know it was a whole lot more. We know that it was what is it, public or human sources. We know that they had confidential human sources out there as well as those 276 people. We know that. But then why hasn't he given that? Maybe he don't got it. Maybe they having to do some extra work, some extra digging. This is me playing devil's advocate. You said he did not say that. You were girding at what Patel said. No, Mitch, that's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said. He said, I have given you everything that I have gotten. Everything that came across my desk, I have given it to you. That's what he said. So I'm applying that logic of knowing that. I'm applying that to this situation with January 6th. Maybe, just maybe there is some things going on behind the scenes, and there's a lot more going on. You know, there's a lot more. You got these, man, look, I ain't even going to get into all that because it's going to take it off the topic. But we got a whole lot going on in the country. There's a whole lot wrong. There's a whole lot of messed up people in politics, man. There's a whole lot of messed up influencers out there. There's a whole lot of people spitting misinformation to keep people pointing over here and arguing with each other. And I guess I got to just take a back seat and just keep faith, you know, keep praying, keep faith that things are going to work out the way that they need to. And again, the only reason why I get so angry about it is because I think about all the time that I missed. You know what I'm saying? I think about all the time that I missed for my kids. And I forget that, you know, things got to happen the way that they got to happen, Cash. And God is in control of everything. Everything that's going to happen is going to happen. And you just got to make the right choices in them situations when things do happen, because God is God in the current. You can't change anything about anything. You only have the choice to choose, right? So don't be angry about all the time that you missed, because you was going to miss it regardless. That wasn't the Democrats' plan. That wasn't Trump's plan. That wasn't the Republicans' plan. No, that was God's plan. That's how I choose to look at it. It was God's plan. No matter what I would have did, no matter if I would have chose differently to do something that day, I would have still ended up in prison. I would have still ended up where I was, because God got a plan. And his plan is his plan. The only thing that I could do is choose what I do when I'm in these situations. That's all. So for the people that are taking the video out of context, you know, I mean, hey, you're entitled to feel how you feel and say what you want to say. I don't hate you for it. And that's another thing I want to put out there. When it comes to these people like the Sidney Powells, the General Flynn's, the Stephen Bannons, the Democrats, the crazy liberal people that be in my comments talking crazy, or the far right extremist Republicans that are like, oh, don't trust Cash because he's black or whatever. Look, I love you. I love you. I'm praying for you. I'm a believer before I'm anything. Before I'm a supporter of Trump, I'm a believer. Before I'm a conservative-minded black guy, I'm a believer. Simple as that. So that means that I love you, even if you hate me. And you got the negative stuff that you want to say, you want to call the names and all of that. Hey, do your thing. I don't mind. I get it. I used to be just like you. But now I'm not. So, you know. And that's all I got. It's my birthday. I just wanted to come on and set the record straight. I'm about to go and hang out with my wife and kids. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to be on with Script Keeper. And that's it. President Trump, yo, I appreciate you, man. And I know you're doing, look, I get frustrated. But I believe that you got us, the American people's best interests at heart. So, you know, I'm trusting God with all of this, that it's all going to come to light and things is going to take shape. But until then, man, look, I'm praying for you and you're doing a good job, bro. Keep it up. All right, that's it. That's all I got. I hope y'all have a good day. God bless y'all.